find that friend, or I would find a coach, or I would find somebody who lights you up in terms of getting you to move forward and motivated. And then I would say, okay, these are the things I need from these areas of my life, and these are the things that I want, because needs and wants are two different things. And then you can even write out a list. Is I'm going to make sure that I send you a link so you have a copy of this as well. But
awesome.
Kind of sort of want to steal your hair. I'm just saying.
I'm all about it. Thank you so much. I do it at home just because it's fun and I'm bored. I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
Atta girl. Well, if you ever want to come do mine, you're more than welcome.
Okay, I will.
Okay, so you'll have to forgive me, but I don't believe I've read for you before, have I?
No, this is my first time.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so did you have a chance to review the session prep video so you understand about the 10-minute rule, and then you understand how I give and like receive information from the spirit world? Fantastic. Okay, so then the only thing that I really need to know left to know is, do you want to know everything, or do you want me to edit information out if it comes through?
You know, I've been thinking about it, and I think I'm okay with just knowing everything.
Okay.
But just maybe like the delivery, you know, if it's something like a warning,
absolutely.
You know.
I'm very cognizant of that. And just to let you know, I don't typically receive predictions about when people are going to die. So I don't give that information. Anyways, I feel like I'd be arrogant if I'm going to predict your death. Like I'm just
right.
But it's a genuine concern that people have. So I promise to make sure that I'll be compassionate with my delivery. Awesome. And I won't be giving you death information. So there you go. All right. So let's get all up into this thing. So do me a favor. You're going to put both of your hands onto your heart, and I want to get into your energy. And that's the reason why I'm doing this. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. And on that last breath that you take there, go ahead and say your first name only. You're going to say it out loud 3 times, please.
Jasmine, Jasmine, Jasmine.
Wonderful. Okay. All right. Jasmine, how can I help you?
You know, I'm really interested. I've just never had reading done before. I've had my cards run before, and then I really like reading tarot cards as well for others. And I'm just kind of looking for what's my next step? I'm going through a really big kind of spiritual change, a body change, just everything in my life has been changing with COVID. Everyone's, I feel like, going through that. And I'm really, really uncertain of kind of what's my next move. How do I reignite my passion for anything anymore? That's kind of where I'm going. I have a good idea of what I feel like I need to work on for myself. I just don't really know like what's next. And so that's kind of, open. Okay. I am really interested in knowing about any romantic things as well. Anytime I ask my spirit guides, they're like, don't worry about it. So I'm happy feeling you might get that.
Last thing you want to hear is don't worry, because guess what you're going to do? Worry.
Not worry. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah. Okay, great. So we're going to look at next steps, and then we're going to look into relationships. Okay. Just a heads up, Buttercup, my cockatoo is screaming in the background. I don't have a 3-year-old trapped, but he does.
Yeah, my dog is probably going to bark. So.
Wonderful. It'll be a zoo reading. I love it. Okay. So I'm going to focus on next steps in terms of direction, and then romance, relationship. Yeah. You're not currently in a relationship, are you? Because you're coming off single to me. So, okay.
I'm single, yeah.
Okay. It's better to come off single to me and actually be single, because otherwise that means you're in a relationship where one of you guys is not plugged in. So
yeah.
Right. Cool. So you also just know, you're probably familiar, since you do tarot readings, that I'm using the Rider-Waite deck, but I read them differently than the traditional way. So when you get a card, it may or may not, or like when I show you a card or whatever I'm getting, it may or may not resonate with the way you read cards. So I just want you to, just kind of be cognizant of that. Okay, so I do have Actually, I do have relationship coming up in regards to next step. So it's kind of sort of both. So if you've been feeling like it's time for you to connect and emotionally engage with someone as part of your next step, you're right on the path with that. Something tells me you've had even deja vu moments of meeting somebody. I don't know if you understand this or not, but there's some weird juju, weird stuff happening. If you haven't seen it yet, you will start to experience these synchronicities. Now, one thing I do want to say is relationship doesn't necessarily always mean romance. So this could be collaboration with someone else, although I do feel masculine energy involved. So that could be a man, or it could be a woman that has a lot of masculine energy. I work by energy, not sexual identity, not gender, none of that. So whatever biological body fits that energy, that's not up to me. I just look at the energy. So there is something about you reaching your dreams, collaborating, and starting your next step with whatever it is that you want to do with a masculine energy, because it feels to me like you actually bring in feminine energy. I don't know if you understand this or not. Feminine energy is a lot of creativity, and it's receptivity and being versus doing. Okay. So the masculine energy is about being more initiatory and doing and kind of getting up off your ass. Now, I'm not trying to say that you're lazy, but I'm saying there's action that's not being taken towards your goals. You understand this?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you need help so one of the reasons what's coming up is the reason why you're feeling stuck and unsure is because nothing's being done. It's more like you're just talking about the next steps versus taking action and doing the next step. So ideally, it means collaborating with someone else who has more masculine energy than you do, so that you can get up and start going and moving. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go into business with somebody.
Right.
Okay, but it does mean talking to somebody or getting some sort of help that lifts you off. What is it that you do for a living or to earn an income?
I work at home. I work for an insurance company.
Look, I can't tell you what to do. All I can do is tell you what's showing up. And it doesn't feel like that's the right match for you. Okay. I do feel like you are, and I'm getting chills on this, so I know I'm right. You do need to be in this field or in this area of giving guidance. So you're actually more on track with your tarot card reading for other people, even if it's just, right now a hobby and it's not professional. The field of like sensitivity, healing, compassion, nurturing, something along those lines.
Yeah, that's really crazy because I've been feeling that too, and it's not something that I ever thought about. So, but I'm like really passionate about it. So yeah.
And the reason is, Jasmine, is because you're here to be of service. You're here to give your gifts away. That's your purpose. So if you're like, well, what the fuck am I here for? You're here to give away what you have to offer, and you're not.
Yeah.
So what I would do if I were you, I understand that, I'm going to say one of the next steps. One of the next steps is to collaborate with somebody. Again, even if it just means getting a scheduling things, so you can start scheduling people to do readings or whatever. Right. But the other thing is to get super clear, because you're just starting to come online to more than just what is in front of you. So just get really clear of what your needs and your wants are in the various areas of your life, right? So you have romance, you have health, you have career, you have finances, because finances and career aren't always the same thing, and they don't always go together. They can, but they don't. Like, for example, myself, I have different streams of income under this umbrella of spiritual guidance, right? But I have different, I don't, it's like I do different things, right? So they're talking about getting clear with that for your dreams to come true, because there is movement forward in terms of finances. So this is kind of showing up in terms of prosperity. So do you have any friends, or is there anybody that kind of ignites and lights your ass on fire, that motivates you, that pushes you? Because that's what they're saying you need. You need that help collaborating with that to get you off your ass. Do you have somebody like that already?
I don't think I do. I know that my friends are capable of that. I just don't know if I felt it yet. I don't know if it's because of me, I'm like not allowing it to feel it, or if it's just like I need to find the right person.
Yeah, it could be both. And there
Yeah.
is such thing as divine timing and divine
Right.
order, but I can tell you that the reason you're like, well, what do I do next, is because you're not honoring what is going on. But there's also some vagueness there. There's no clarity there. So the universe is
Right.
going to keep you in this place of vagueness because that's what you're asking for. And the
Yeah.
universe always gives us everything we're asking for, even if it's what you don't want. So I would do two things if I were you. I would find that friend, or I would find a coach, or I would find somebody who lights you up in terms of getting you to move forward and motivated. And then I would say, okay, these are the things I need from these areas of my life, and these are the things that I want, because needs and wants are two different things. And then you can even write out a list of all the things that you enjoy doing. You like gardening. I don't know, I'm just, bullshitting. Maybe you do like gardening. I don't know, you like sewing, you like whatever, going to the gym, and somehow matching all of those up. And you'll start to find that path towards that direction. And the universe is going to meet you more than halfway, but you have to give the universe something to work with. And you're not just yet. Yeah. But once you do, money is going to start coming to you. So I don't know if you're struggling with money or not, but money seems to have some sort of importance, and good for you. It should, even if you're a spiritual person, because we live in the physical reality of matter. And even though money is energy, we still need it to buy things so that we can do our work. And again, you're here to be of service. So that's why you need to get super clear, because when you understand that, you know what you can give to people and what you can provide for them. So it is about blending more of that masculine energy into your feminine energy.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions on this topic? Do you have anything you want me to look further deeper into? Like, just be specific with your question and I can do that.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely have been feeling like, I'm like, maybe I could use like a mentor or something. Yeah. And I know it's so funny because it all makes so much sense. Is that I know that I kind of am lazy, for lack of a better word. I have a good work ethic, but I get stuck in just sitting down and being like, oh, my life is so blah, blah, blah. Sure. And so I guess, like, should I just, where do I start? Do I just get up and start talking to my friends? Do I meet someone completely new? Yeah. Is this going to be like a mentor or more of like a collaboration? It sounds like you're collaboration more than anything.
Yeah. Collaboration, but the thing is that, okay, so here's where you might want to have somebody be both, or start off in another way, because the thing with you, what they're saying is that once you get an idea in your head, you're like, I'm fucking taking off with it, like, and you do it, but the stamina isn't there. Yeah. So you don't continue it. So the mentorship will actually help maintain that stamina. The collaboration will give you that outlet to work with someone else to do it, right? So it's like the desire is there, but the follow through isn't. So the desire and the motivation needs to be like, you just need to stretch it out longer. That's where the mentorship would happen. Because then what happens is you just get into these stumbling blocks about who you are, whatever your story is, and they're blind spots. And then you freeze and then you immobilize and you're like, and that ends up being a survival response, right? So you're just like, what the fuck do I do now? Yeah. Well, working with somebody else, collaborating with someone else, you have sort of an accountability to somebody else. So it can, they kind of go hand in hand, right? But you as a person, as an individual, it's going to be important for you to reach out the stamina, because you don't need to collaborate with anybody. That was just like a next step. Right. And even collaborating with somebody else could be that mentorship that helps get you off your ass. So it could be one and the same. you see. And just a shameless plug here, that's what I do. I do work with people and I do that. So, and it's, I have this thing, it's 12 sessions. I mean, you can look online on my site, but it's called Shift Happens. So I help you get into that energetic alignment to have that stamina, to learn what the blocks are and to move past it. So that's what they're saying. So whether you use me or somebody else, that doesn't matter. It's just, that's kind of like where you kind of stumble, is like, you're like really excited. And then one thing happens where it's not like smooth and you freeze.
And I'm like, all right, never mind.
Like, forget it. And the thing is like, you know, you are worthy enough to continue forward, even with that mistake or that, you know, back step or whatnot. But that survival response is there. Because again, like I said, and it's just every time I mention it or it comes to me, I get the chills, and that's, you are here to be of service. So again, can't tell you what to do, but living your life as an insurance agent or whatever you're doing, it is not your purpose. I can feel that.
Definitely not. Yeah. I definitely know that it's not. It's more of like a means for, you know,
and there's nothing wrong with that, but you're not working on what's really meaningful for you.
Right.
So that's where, you know, this mess is happening, you know? And so you're having this kind of awakening where you're stepping outside of yourself and you're observing who you are and who you have been, and you're feeling stuck. And now you're like, well, what the fuck am I going to be? Who am I going to be? What can I do? And it's an observation. So that's beautiful, but it's like, which way do I go? So just to start off, it would be, you know, this working with somebody else, you know, just to get you forward, to get you moving again, and to keep you moving in spite of anything else that happens. Do you have anything else that you want to know on this topic before I go to relationship?
I think I'm good on that.
You think you're good on that? Okay, cool. Let me move to relationship. Ooh. I just started like, I'm like, oh, do you understand this? Because I really want to be careful how I say it, because there's a big part of it that's a really great thing, and then there's a big part of it that's not a great thing. Okay. So the great thing about it is that I feel like you have standards and criteria that a person, who do you tend to, what kind of energy, masculine or feminine energy? Masculine. Okay. Is it men or is it women?
Okay, I guess men with, I guess I don't know what energy. I go towards gender men in male bodies who identify with being a man. Okay. But I don't know what my energy is. Maybe feminine.
Yeah. No, that's okay. Because I just don't want to make any assumption with everything that's going on these days and all these different ways to identify. I don't want to offend anyone. Right. And I go by energy, and I feel like it's masculine, but that can still be a woman. And I just wanted to, okay, so I'm going to go with men, because you primarily date men, right? Okay, got it. Okay, so here's the thing about that. It's really great to have these standards and criteria of men, but what's coming through is that you could be a little too picky. Okay. So the pickiness, from a positive aspect, it's really wonderful to have those standards. But then on the non-positive aspect is that you're also pushing away potentially great people. Yeah. So, you know, what they're saying is, I don't want to say stop being so picky, because I don't want you to just date anybody. I want you to have the standards, and I want you to really embrace the beauty of men. But I want you to, when I say it's they, I'm sorry, it's coming out like they want you. I want you to be stronger in terms of what you will put up with and what you won't put up with, because something's coming through that you are a bit flimsy with your boundaries. You understand this?
Yes, 100%.
So you're fascinating to me as human Terrie, because you're like, really like, this guy has to be like this. He's got to fit into a nice Tiffany box, but I'll be like, whatever in certain ways. So there's this like,
exactly it. Yeah.
You know, it's not consistent. So what happens is you're drawing in men who will continuously be like that and not deliver and give you what it is that you need. Yep. Because remember, whatever you're broadcasting, whatever your signal is, that's what you're going to draw into you. So they're talking about stop focusing on the aspects of men in a romantic relationship of how you don't want them to be, because you're bringing in those, because that's where your attention is, and wherever your attention is, that's where energy is going to follow and go. So for you, they're talking about designing the partner for you based on the things that you do want and the positive aspects. So one of the things this is what I would suggest you do. You can have so much fun with this too.
Yeah.
Every time you come across a guy that you're attracted to, really get super precise with what attracted you to that person. I don't care if you're just at the grocery store, and some guy is behind you and you dropped a lemon or whatever, and he picks it up for you and you're like, oh my God, that was so kind, right? This guy was kind. You're going to just start listing out all the positive aspects of any man that you encounter, whether it's you go on a date with them or not. Okay. And again, it can be a garbage man. I don't care who it is. It needs to be a man, and you have to write that, start logging that down. And then every night before you go to sleep, read that list and feel how good it would feel to actually be with a man who had all of those positive characteristics, because what you're emitting it's inconsistent. And we want to get you in an alignment for that partner, because you deserve it. Again, here's that worthiness and deserving that's showing up again. Because there's a partner out there for you. There is. So I don't know if you've questioned that or not, but they're saying,
I definitely have. Yeah, I definitely have. Because I've been, the boundaries thing is like, I'll get with someone and I'll realize the boundary being broken. And then I'm like, well, I'm with them and I want someone to be with me so badly that I just overlook it, and then it never turns out, and then I'm like,
no more. Nuh-uh.
I know.
Not after this reading, you will hear Terrie verbally thank you. Fuck that shit.
yeah, seriously. I love that.
That's okay. I mean, look, up until now, everything has been the way it is, and you're a fabulous person who has a mission here to share her gift. Now that can even be sexually, they just said. So apparently you're really good in bed. Good for you.
Good.
yeah. I like that. Lots of fire and play. Good girl. So that's really good. So that's something you can offer a man, like really good sexual play. Most men like sex and like play. So that's good. So it would be nice for you to give that to a man who deserves it, not some piece of shit who's going to like play with your boundaries.
Exactly.
So I will tell you that there's something about between 2 and 3 years. So first of all, good news, bad news. Good news is that it's not that far off. The bad news is that it's not right now. You're really going to understand your confidence and security in yourself, they're just saying. So, at least it's not like another 5-10 years.
Right.
So there's still some more kinks to work out in the beautiful world of Jasmine, which is fine. But I love that, because being secure and confident, holy shit, that is the key to mastering human experience here.
I think that's what I'm feeling right now is there's a lot that I'm doing for self-worth that is really, really hard. And it's in my head, I don't know, my negativity is just like, okay, well, you're not ready. Like, you're too insecure for a relationship right now. And so I don't want to have that energy, but I understand that it's like, I kind of need to work on some things first. So I get nervous that I'm just going to be insecure for the rest of my life, and then I'm never going to meet anybody, and I'm just going to like, I try not to verbalize those things, but that's really are my thoughts. And I think it's like,
well, I can tell you without a doubt, there's somebody there for you. You have a partner. What I can also tell you is the reason why you're kind of struggling with getting there is because you're doing inner work, which is beautiful, but when you do it alone, you can only get so far. So going back to that collaborating and working with somebody is they can help you get deeper to clean out the residual schmutz, all that energy, so that you can move forward. And then you don't feel alone, because there's something about you that feels alone. Like you operate as a one-woman show in this world. Do you understand this?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. And that has a lot to do with safety and security too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm all alone, like, fuck this, no matter what happens, like, I'll never find anybody. And then it just kind of like snowballs. So that's also working with someone else is going to make you not feel alone. And that's going to help you build that security and that confidence.
Yeah.
Because again, there's not, there's not that much left. And look, everything's as of this conversation. I'm not all perfect. I'm not all knowing. I could be misinterpreting information. I hope I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually hope in some ways I'm wrong and it comes sooner rather than later.
Right.
I'm sure you want me to be wrong too, and that's totally fine. Because I just feel like there are opportunities that you're kind of missing out on.
Okay.
That are there.
Yeah.
But your mindset or your belief system is like this, like blinders, right? Well, what about all the stuff that's happening here and here? You don't have access to that yet. So you're doing great on your own, but you just need some help to dig a little deeper. That's all. You're not broken. Nothing's wrong with you. I feel like as a kid, you were hurt a lot too. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like a lot of heart pain. Now, whether it was actual physical heart pain or you had like several broken hearts, like adults would let you down. You understand this?
Yeah. I was very much a diary for my mother, I guess. Yeah. And I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where some of this is coming from, actually. You were taught this, you know what I'm saying? Like if your mom was dumping shit on you, you're supposed to be a kid. She's supposed to be the adult, but role reversal, that's something you were taught. You didn't come into this world going, I'm going to be your boss. I'm going to be your mom, and our caregivers, I actually had 3 caregivers, not just mom and dad. I had grandma too. So that makes a hot mess too.
Right.
Too many chefs, right? Our caregivers do the best that they can, but they're also bringing their own shit. So we humans don't come with manuals. So the majority of caregivers have the best intention for the people they're caring for, the littles, but there are some evil fucking shitty people out there who purposely, with intention and effort, fuck people up, but what I'm trying to say is everything that you learned and how you operate and how you attach to people, places, situations, you were taught. Okay, so that's good news, bad news, right? Because the good news is that you can unlearn that stuff. And that's where working with someone else, clearing out that, residual schmutz, that's where it's going to help you so that you spring forward instead of dwelling and sitting in it. Yeah. But again, I just keep going back to you're not broken and you have your dreams. Like the dreams, this guy has come up twice already. This is the star, which my interpretation is dreams. And there's, you actually are a very emotional person. I feel like you kind of don't show you're emotional a lot.
I'm a very emotional person. And I know that.
Yeah. So you kind of hide that part of yourself. Well, girlfriend, I will tell you this much. Once you start working on like giving your gift to the world, that's going to change. And you might be like a little faucet at the beginning, crying every single thing.
Oh my gosh. I don't even think I can cry any more than I already do. But
but publicly I'm talking.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. And that's
I don't do that.
That shows vulnerability. And it's part of the healing process. And the best healers are the ones that have the shittiest, hardest, horriblest, yes, that's a word, horriblest time. Because you can't heal someone else unless you heal yourself. Besides, that compassion and that empathy is there. So you're really going to be once you start giving yourself permission and you start digging deeper on the it's called shadow work, which I'm sure you know about. You're gonna you do, I'm not even gonna say you're going to, you do have a lot to offer. You really do. And it's beautiful. And you're a real healer. I gotta tell you, I really feel, the modality of healing, there's room to figure that out. So, who knows, acupuncture, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's art, whatever it is, it's there.
Yeah, I like to make music, so I don't know. I'm hoping it's that.
So that it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter how.
Yeah.
But it matters that you do get it out. So if you're a musician, you sure as fuck can heal people through music. Oh my God, because it's all energy frequencies, and that's like sound healing. So something you might even want to go into, maybe take some sound bowl classes, crystal bowl.
I would love that.
So yeah. So there you go, my dear Jasmine.
Yay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're
I'm interested in the classes that you teach. I was reading about it a little bit, so I'll definitely take a look more. And
take a look, and we can set up a phone call where I can answer more of your questions.
Okay.
It's free to chat with me about that. I don't give you a reading, but I want to make sure that I'm clear with you and you feel good and confident that we'll be a good match, because it's important for both of us. So
definitely.
All right, my
dear. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.